Still on.
Oh.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, I'm real sorry your mom blew up, Ricky.
Hi, welcome to the second episode of Film Speak since returning from our hiatus, if that's what you want to call it. I call it trying to quit, but being sucked back in like Godfather 3. As soon as you think you're getting away, they just pull you back in again. Anyways, today is a very special episode. We have Henrique Couto, he's standing right over there right now. And we're going to be discussing what he's been up to, which has been a whole fucking lot, let me tell you. And on top of that, we're going to be talking about one of my classic films, just favorites of mine, Better Off Dead. Watched it last night just to refresh myself on it, and I got a lot on the tip of my tongue to talk about it. I don't know if you've realized this, but Film Speak has become kind of a blues show. So in this episode, we will have 2 foreskins, a clitoris, a cunt, and 2 bomb jibbities. But since I've just said them, we're already past them now, so you don't have to worry. So join us in a few minutes, and we'll sit down, talk about some films, and see what other trouble we can get into.
You sure you want to do this?
These are the cards I've been dealt.
Calamity Jane.
I got work to do. And it's bloody work.
What are you hunting me up for? I'm going to capture Calamity Jane.
You are notoriously hard to kill.
Jane, no, damn it!
I feel sorry for your poor mama.
Jane? No, no, no!
It's okay.
The ending was just really sad.
Well, I thought it was because you lost everybody you loved in your life. That's why Stevie's here every morning.
Fine. Doing much better. I'm great.
Charlie isn't thrilled with life.
Hey, I feel like I know you from somewhere.
I've written some screenplays.
No, that's not it. You're the Greek yogurt guy. You buy like 50 of them at once.
Yeah, that's me.
Real love leaves a lot to be desired.
So do you do a lot of online dating?
Well, yeah, it's a great way to meet people.
I haven't had that much luck.
How long has yours even been up?
11 months.
Then this happened.
I want things to be like how they were to me as a kid.
Like they are in the movies.
What if we created the romances we've always wanted? You can help me write them, and I can help you perform them. Rule number 1, you don't break character.
Should we move?
Rule number 2, you don't get weird.
I'm gonna be your entertainment tonight. I met a girl from San Jose. She was the best little girl ever met in my life, and even better than that, she wouldn't tell my wife with.
Thanks. That's great. Well, that's what $20 gets you.
Rule number 3, we just make out.
I know that look on your face. You look smitten.
What if there was a scene where a guy disrespected me and you had to fight for my honor?
Make your move, Birch! Bitch!
Next Saturday.
It's a date. Well, kinda. Oh my gosh. I think I might be in love.
Things could be worse. You can have AIDS.
That was something.
Ten seconds? Well, we could just keep talking, and then I'll turn to the camera.
Well, Murderdrome is a roller derby horror movie, also based out of Australia.
Nice.
This is pretty good. I mean, they're silly and campy and really bloody.
An Australian movie I liked was Animal Kingdom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What's the guy's name? Brad, actor. I'll frickin' think of it later. I tell you what, at this moment right now, I'm flashing it above our heads. Oh, hi, welcome to Film Speak. Sitting here talking with Henrique. We're just BSing about movies, which is something we are prone to do.
It's true, yeah.
It is true, yeah. Get us started. It's like junkies. Or a fat kid with cake. We just can't stay off it.
It's like learning ancient Greek, and the few times you get to speak it with somebody else, you get really excited, and you speak it really fast and poorly, but you get to speak it.
Absolutely. Because don't you hate that when you're like a group of people and they start talking about movies, and then you get started, and you look around, and everybody's like...
Yeah. They usually look more afraid than that, but yes.
Thank you for coming on the show again.
My pleasure, absolutely.
And I just shook your hand sick again.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
If I don't touch my mouth, it'll just be like a vaccine. You know, I'll build the antibodies.
And in horror movie fashion, you can just pass it on to somebody else.
Exactly.
Love you.
Gift that keeps on giving.
So tell us. I mean, you have. I hate to just say, tell us what you've been up to, because you have been up to so frickin' much.
Up to my neck in work. Well, let's see. Last year was one of the biggest years of my career. I directed and produced 3 features. I did. Now I'm trying to remember them all. That's going to be the challenge. I did Awkward Thanksgiving, followed by Scare Waves, followed by Alone in the Ghost House. Awkward Thanksgiving just came out nationally on pay-per-view and video on demand a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Scare Waves came out last October, and Alone in the Ghost House comes out August 9th in the United States and Canada. And then this year, or the year before, or after that, see, it's like impossible. I did a Western called Calamity Jane's Revenge, which we just signed an international licensing deal for. So hopefully I'll have some release dates soon. It's going to Cannes, it'll be going to Berlin, it'll be going to Toronto to be represented. And we're presenting it to bigger retailers like Redbox. That doesn't mean anything will happen.
Yeah.
It's just that they'll see it. It doesn't necessarily mean we'll get into Redbox, but it's nice that it's going to happen. So we did the Western, then we did a romantic comedy called Making Out, which I can't announce what, where, and how, but we just signed a VOD and pay-per-view deal for that. I don't know when it'll come out. Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
And then I ended last year with Amityville No Escape, which we're actually filming pickups for tomorrow. And then it's wrapped and off to the distributor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then this year that we're sitting in right now, I am in pre-production on 3 feature films, one of which has been fully financed on Kickstarter, and with a 4th one very likely to be happening. So when I'm done talking to you, I go do my shot list, and then tomorrow we shoot, and then Monday and Tuesday I'll edit, and then Wednesday I have to go off to the East Coast and appear at Chiller Theater to promote Alone in the Ghost House. It's when you say it all out loud, all of a sudden I feel very tired.
Well, I just want to point out something because this show is mainly watched by filmmakers.
Sure.
Or family to the fuckers who helped me with the show.
Well, until you swore like that.
Yeah, we're a blue show. I can say whatever the hell I want. Anyways, what I wanted to say to the filmmakers that are in the area, kicking ass like this man is what you got to strive for. He does not stop. I've known you for a couple of years, and it doesn't matter what frickin' people say to you. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter anything. You are like a filmmaking steamroller. You engine on and roll over adversity.
Well, well, thank you. Well, the fact is, adversity is the biggest part of this job. The Rocky Balboa, it's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and get back up. I think that resilience is a much more valuable asset than anything else, and especially in the film business. I mean, if you want to make a lot of money and work really hard, real estate is really more up your alley. If you want to work really hard in a massively unfair environment that you still can't quite figure out why you'd want to do it in the first place, film may be your way to go. But yeah, I mean, you just have to, every time you have adversity, you have to kind of take it in stride. I have a motto actually for any young filmmaker, which is remember that everyone will jump to say no to you. So don't join them. Don't ever have an excuse to fail. Don't ever have an excuse to give up, because everybody else is going to say, like, why would you do that? Or who are you doing this? Why would I care? You can't join them. If you join them, then it's a chorus against you.
Yeah.
You're the single solitary voice. Maybe you and your mother. Like, it was, when I started, it was just me and then my mom also. But we yelled loud enough. So, yeah, I don't know. That's like the only piece of advice I can really think of right now. So, and I do want to mention, I'm actually, this will be the first time I've ever talked about this publicly, because who knows what will happen with it. But I've been meeting with a local young director, and if everything keeps going the way it's going, we've had 3 meetings now, then in the summer I'll be producing his debut feature, which he'll be directing and producing alongside myself. I'd always wanted to try and mentor somebody like him, but he also really impressed me, because I'm actually kind of hard to impress. You have to have a lot of stuff you can show me, because he'd show up and he'd be like, well, I have a portfolio. I'm like, where'd you grow up? Tell me other things.
Yeah. The meat, meat, not the frosting. I want the meat of the biscuit.
But if all goes according to plan, he has a kind of dark comedy crime thriller that he pitched me that I think is really interesting, and more importantly, can be shot on a schedule that I can help produce and help put together and then bring to market. So it'd be kind of cool to help somebody's first feature be released nationally and get seen. Now, who knows? By the time this airs, he could already have dropped out, or he could have the stick-to-itiveness, as I like to call it, to go through it. But and that's one thing I'm trying to do, because I don't have a competitive edge in this business. Because to be honest with you, this business is so competitive that, like, if you and I were competing, it isn't even statistically significant. There's so many people, the market is so glutted that one other person against you doesn't matter at all.
The only person that I'm competing with in this business is myself.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I'm doing it not because I have any delusions of grandeur or want to be rolling high in Hollywood. I'm doing it because I love film.
Because you can't do anything else.
Can't do anything else.
Yeah,
I hope that I die with a screenplay in one hand and a camera in the other. And okay, either that or in a bed with 5 Filipinian hookers and a bunch of coke. I mean, if it's going to go one way or the other, screenplay and camera or a bunch of hookers.
I'm with that, except Diet Coke.
Diet Coke. There you go. Hey, either way, go with a smile on the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks for catching us up.
My pleasure.
Please watch, because we're going to have some clips and stuff.
Yeah.
some of the newer trailers. I actually went and saw.
Yeah, you were at Making Out.
I was at Making Out premiere. I have to admit that I laughed my ass off.
That was a great show with a really like bombastic crowd. And I
Yeah,
was very
absolutely.
thrilled. I was standing in the back of the theater, just kind of like dancing every time there was a good laugh, because that's what comedies are the worst, because you have to break the ice. Like,
yeah.
So the ice breaking jokes, you hope those are going to be huge, because that's what gets people to laugh later.
Well, I know when I premiered Barry Tales, which I'm still seeking distribution for. It's getting there. I went outside because I couldn't bear to be in the theater.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I had my back up against the door, and then sat there like this, and was like, okay, they gasped in the right spot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there was a chuckle there. That was the right spot. And, I should have just been in there watching it, but I couldn't bear it.
It takes some getting used to. Now I'm at a point where a lot of the movies, I can't even watch them unless it's with an audience, because I've seen them ad nauseum so many times.
Editing.
Well, and when you think, I work with Eric Whiting, local filmmaker. He's my editor of choice, a very, very talented editor. But I thought, when I brought an editor in, I wouldn't have to watch my own movie so many times. But you still have to place notes, and then you have to go through the audio, the sound mix, and the coloring phase. So I'm still totally sick of the movie by the time it's done.
Well, because every time there's a draft made, you gotta watch the
yeah.
next draft. I'm going to be watching a draft of a movie I'm editing today. So
good.
totally in that boat. And what I hate is when I'm editing a movie that I'm in.
Oh yeah, because you're looking at your hair.
Yeah,
I mean that's what it really comes down to.
Just like, God, who keeps putting this asshole in front of the camera? God.
I was in Making Out. I played a supporting role, which that was not on purpose. Originally, it was just one joke. But when I was writing the screenplay, I was trying to give a brevity to the screenplay. I only wanted it to be 90 pages or a little less, so the movie would be about 80 minutes or so. And I had established my character as a joke in one scene, and then I realized I had no time to establish more friends for the main character. So I was like, I'll just pop up in 2 more scenes and say some stuff. But literally, when I was watching the rough cuts, all I would do is sit there and be like, did I really think that was the way to part my hair? Did I really, really? Or my collar would be a little bit, and I'd be like, why was my collar ruined? So Joel Schumacher said that he doesn't like to show actors dailies because all they do is look at their hair.
Look at the hair.
Completely right.
Yeah. Well, I thought your character was great because you just had those great zingers.
Yeah. I definitely threw myself softballs. Well, it's funny. Somebody said, why aren't you in your movies more? And I was like, I don't have the stomach to do all of the directing work. I mean, Making Out, we raised a good deal of money on Kickstarter for it. So we shot a pretty, in my opinion, lax 7 or 8 day schedule.
Yeah.
But even that, I mean, every time I had a scene coming up that day, I was stressed to high heaven because I couldn't rehearse. I'm rehearsing all the other scenes with everybody else.
So yours, you just had to run in and just do it.
Well, yeah. Well, luckily, since I wrote it, I kind of have a feel for it. And Titus Wolverton, our lead on that, Titus is, very adamant professional, or consummate professional is a better word. He's an excellent professional. So him always being on his mark and always being right on his lines made it easier for me to be right on my lines because he would always be feeding me what I remembered.
Yeah.
So we were able to do, and he's a good scene partner because he'll give a lot, he'll interact as much or as little as you want. So that was definitely the cheat. I'm never in a scene without him. It's always me and him together. So he was able to make me look better in that way. Because all I do is show up and say a couple weird things and walk out. Literally, 2 of the scenes, I just say one silly thing and leave.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Which is what I like, So and I thought it was good because it was an inside joke for that specific audience. The audience who doesn't know my work will think well, what a weird character, and the audience who does know my work will be like, that's that guy, the guy who said thanks for coming. So, and I wore a different pair of glasses in every single scene.
I didn't notice that. I'll have to watch again just to pick that up.
Yeah, I have a addiction to prescription glasses. So I have 7 pairs.
I have to give some credit. Well, one, Erin was going to be on today.
Yes.
From Making Out, but her family is she has some family ill issues, and we wish her the best. And I have to give some credit to Titus because he is one of the people who bugged me about having Film Speak come back.
Oh, cool.
I was chided into bringing the show back. Please stay tuned. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back and just do a little discussion about the movie Better Off Dead. So stay tuned. Okay, I wanted to spend this rant talking about the comic book movies. I mean, there's been a huge surge into these things. Some people bitch. Some people are happy about it. I'm mostly happy. Okay, when I was a kid, I collected comic books. And I dreamed of a day when people would take these stories seriously and make them as they should be presented. And then in the 80s, you know, it was, DC was kind of the king of the comic book movies. Superman 1 and 2. We're not going to really mention 3, 4, and Supergirl existed. Though Supergirl did have Popeye's chicken in it. I mean, I'm just saying, anything with Popeye's chicken in it cannot be that bad, because Popeye's chicken's fucking awesome. But then the Marvel movies, oh, and Batman. Can't forget Tim Burton's Batman. But the Marvel movies, you had what? You had The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. What a disappointment that was. And then in the 90s, things started to switch. And nobody gives enough credit to frickin' Wesley Snipes for the Blade movies, because that's actually a Marvel film, and it turned the approach of how people took Marvel seriously. I mean, Ben Affleck almost fucked it up with that Daredevil movie. And then things got switched around with Iron Man. You know what it comes down to is Marvel having possession of their own stories. Because if Fox or Sony does it, it kind of shit sucks. But as long as Marvel does it, you know, Iron Man, the Daredevil TV series, the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, I go see these movies over and over again. I got a full-on chubby for Captain America Civil War coming out. Okay, by the time this episode comes out, it might be out already. So I might have seen it. I'll be blowing somebody to get in there to see it if I have to. But then you got the DC movies nowadays. All right, I haven't seen Justice League. And from what I hear about it, I might wait until I don't have to pay for it. Because I saw Man of Steel. And it was good. It was dark. It was brooding. I don't think it needed to be done, though. You know what they have to do is they have to take Zack Snyder out of the equation. Take Zack Snyder out of the equation, I think you might have a better film. He kind of lost me when he said that he did Watchmen to save it from the Terry Gilliams of the world. Fuck that guy. All right, so Marvel, yes. DC, I still have high hopes. You know, we'll see how it goes. But anyways, stay tuned. We have more coming, and we'll catch you in just a few minutes.
Are the beans from last night being a problem at work?
Huh? Oh my God, no.
Is that cucumber sandwich messing with your fun time?
Ew.
Then it's time you tried Fart Fresh. Yes,
Who would you eat this?
Fart Fresh. It can turn a faux pas into an oh yes.
Hey.
Comes in fresh pine, tropical, and cinnamon. And now for those stinky pets, try Pet Fart Fresh. You won't regret it. Fart Fresh, makes farts fresh, it's Fart Fresh. From Burn Mill.
I want my $2!
I'm glad people finally get to see these sweet sandals I got. That was one of the first rules. I was like, now that I'm working for myself, sandals every day, except on set, because my feet will literally break.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You need good protection.
I have to wear like insoles and stuff. It's.
They said they're rolling now.
They're rolling now? Okay. Welcome back. We're going to give a little quick discussion about the movie Better Off Dead.
Go that way. Really fast. If something gets in your way, turn.
Big part of my teenage years. Important movie for me, and a favorite of Henrique's also.
Absolutely. You know, I saw that movie so young that I don't know if you have this, because I had, you know, I was watching Showtime and Cinemax when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
So like I would remember scenes, but not the actual movie. And I remembered for years the part where he blow dries the socks. Like he takes a shower in his socks, then blow dries his socks. I remembered that forever. And then when I was like 13 years old, I'm like, Better Off Dead, why not? I put it on and I go, that's the movie I saw on cable at night. The irony being like that's the goofy thing I remembered, not all the other incredibly extraneously goofy things in that film.
Tell me what's worse. A man who doesn't speak English at all, or one that learns to speak from watching Wide World of Sports?
Truly a sight to behold. The man beat the once great champ, now a study in muffishness. No longer the victory-hungry stallion we've raced so many times before.
Oh man, yeah, that movie is like almost from another world.
But the guy who wrote and directed it, Savage Steve Holland, he did one other movie I know of, One Crazy Summer.
Yes, I heard that there's. I don't know if it's just conjecture, but there was supposed to be a sequel to that being made with him.
Really?
Like that they've announced really recently.
That would be kind of cool.
It would be cool.
I mean, he went on into the 90s. He did a couple of cartoon series.
Yeah, yeah.
Eat the Cat and Thunder Lizards or
It makes me
something
think
like
he
that.
doesn't get along with people very well. When I
maybe
hear
not.
somebody goes from that to animation, I start to think like, he's not a people person per se.
Well, if Better Off Dead gives any light onto how he views people, I would say not.
Oh yeah, well, you know, the first thing I thought, because I just watched it about a year ago, like, you know, recently, obviously,
Yeah.
and have a very different attitude, you know, watching it now. And one of the first thoughts I have is like, wow, he had such a desire to take the piss out of the 80s trope movie, because the moment as I was watching it, the first thing I did was I grabbed the box to check the year, because I was like, I need to know if he invented these tropes or he's tearing them down. He's tearing them down.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and it's even better because the thing that makes it the most bizarre is that he got John Cusack, which I guess John Cusack didn't really get the movie when he saw it. He wasn't super happy with it, from what I understand. But like, the fact that they got the guy from a bunch of those movies to play the lead.
This was what started.
Oh, that's what
his
started
persona.
it. Okay.
1985 is
Okay,
when
yeah,
Better
yeah.
Off Dead. The only really standout performance he had done before that was his small role in 16 Candles.
No, you're right. Then it must be even more bizarre. It's like it's like that's what poised him to become known for that. So that's even weird. It's like it's retroactively makes the movie funnier.
The Sure Thing came after that. One Crazy Summer. Say Anything.
Yes.
They all kind of had that persona of,
right.
of his John Cusack.
So it was invented by him parodying
it.
That's art in motion, my friend. That is art.
The worst part is 3 different girlfriends from the 80s all compared me to different John Cusack movies, which would mean that if anybody's going to play me in a film, it has to be John Cusack.
That's fair.
I had one that compared me to Better Off Dead. One that compared me to The Sure Thing, John Cusack character in The Sure Thing, and the one that compared me to Say Anything, which is sweet.
Yeah.
But I was thinking in retrospect, the girlfriend who compared me to Better Off Dead, because when she said it to me, I was like, aw, we're Blaine and the little French girl. But then I realized, oh, no, we're Blaine and Beth.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be compared as really anyone in that. Although what's the name of the best friend? The one that. Do you have any idea the street value of this mountain?
Booger from.
Booger, yeah. I mean, I remember his Booger, but I don't remember his character in that. But yeah, he was great. You know, I'm Facebook friends with Diane Franklin. She's like a very, very cool, friendly person.
Okay. Here's something that blew me away because I've seen this movie since it came out in '85. Watched it constantly. It's one of my Christmas movies. You know, I watch it every Christmas.
Because the holidays are sad, so watch them.
Well, no. It's awesome because they have the Christmas scene where they're opening the presents, and she's all like, "It's the turkey, and it's got the chocolate brownie with nuts. You like the chocolate brownie with nuts in it?"
I hear it has raisins in it.
Yeah,
you
it
like
has
raisins.
You like raisins.
I hear that all the time from my girlfriend.
You see, it's got raisins in it. You like raisins.
Because that's her favorite line ever. So,
okay,
you like.
The mom, right? I never realized this is frickin' Kim Darby.
Oh, yeah.
True Grit.
Oh yeah.
The annoying kid from True Grit. You know, I knew who everybody else in the movie was. It never hit me that was Kim Darby.
Oh yeah.
Which is just, Okay, she annoyed me in True Grit, but I have to say, I freaking love her in Better Off Dead.
Well, that's actually the realization I had with Diane Franklin was that I was watching Amityville 2: The Possession.
Yeah.
And she's totally, I mean, I don't know if you remember Amityville 2: The Possession.
Oh, yeah, the incest scene.
The insanely, the seediest movie ever. I mean, it's so Italian.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought in the Italian director, but like as soon as I realized that that was the same actress, I was just like, whoa, this changes everything.
And then Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah,
she got around.
She got around. Yeah, she's an '80s icon. I'd take some of that. I'm single. I can say that. Come on.
I mean, you can. You're mutual friends with me. Maybe you could add her on Facebook.
I can add her on Facebook.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Hey, can I convince you to come to Ohio and do a movie for a poor white boy?
Well, fall in love with me, then you can do the movie.
Do the movie
Yeah.
If you fall in love with me, you'll do the movie for free.
Yeah. Love me enough to go FICOR so I can have you in my movie.
Well, Better Off Dead is the epitome. I mean, a lot of people have their favorite, like, okay, the John Hughes movies.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a huge Hughes guy. That Filmmaking Out was like entirely.
Yeah. It was a
Hughesy.
love letter.
Oh yeah.
To John Hughes. But I think movies like Better Off Dead get missed. And another favorite of mine is 3 O'Clock High.
Shoot, yeah.
Oh God, love that movie. Don't fuck this up, Mitchell. Just a great film, and you know those are ones that never get mentioned on people's lists.
They're so tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
You know, I think that when they came out, they were almost brushed away as almost Zucker Brother like, which a lot of those don't really get appreciated. I mean, some of them do if they really hit like Airplane.
Yeah.
But the other Zucker Brother ones. Or like even to some extent like the scary movies of modern day.
Kentucky Fried Movie.
Oh well, yeah, that had Landis. That had the genius of John Landis. So
I actually got lucky, and I have a copy of Kentucky Fried Movie signed by John Landis.
I met John Landis one time. I was working a booth at Chiller Theater Convention in New Jersey, and had a big table full of movies, and he just walks up. And he picks a DVD off the table and reads the title aloud and goes, "Caligula reincarnated as Hitler? What a title!" And that was my entire
conversation with that would still be totally worth
it. Was amazing. I'm still telling that story. So,
John Landis is incredible.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just don't mention Twilight Zone.
Well, no. I mean, he sees it probably every time he closes his eyes. So
I'm sure.
That's tough.
Some things would scar you. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you for having me. Discussion about what you've been up to, some talk about Better Off Dead. I doubt you've seen it. Not many people have, so go out and watch Better Off Dead. Thank you very much for being on.
My pleasure.
I would shake your hand again, but 3 times would be pushing it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Bye-bye, everybody.
I've been going to this high school for 7.5 years. I'm no dummy.
Well, that was a great frickin' episode. I mean, did you know all that stuff about Better Off Dead? Fuck, have you ever seen Better Off Dead? Okay, finish this episode. It's just got a few minutes. You don't have to watch the credits. Just go watch Better Off Dead, okay? And watch some other good movies. There are so many classics that came out of the 80s. It's an underrated genre of decade. Okay, yeah, there were some crap and the big hair, but there was a lot of great movies, okay? So check them out and come back and see us next week.